boys, your boy's back. Today is gonna be a little bit more deeper voice than usual, but you know what? Today we're going for a very important topic, and that is Joy Gang from Dark Deception Chapter 4. So you know what? We're not even gonna waste any more time. We're just gonna dive straight in, so let's begin. So as you all know, I don't think I have to remind you all every single time. So if you're new here, subscribe by the way. Hello, 30k strong. But if you're new here, Vincent Livings, the executive director of Dark Deception, made a live stream episode 4 a couple of days ago, in which he answered a ton of questions and revealed a ton of news. We've been covering it actively. As you know, this is the DD week. So what do we have for Joy Gang? We're gonna start with zones. As you all know, there was a theory back in the past where we've talked about how since there are 3 zones in each level of chapter 4, there may be a probability of each zone owned by a single specific character / monster in the Joy Gang level. That has been the consensus, knowing that each screenshot that we've got was different for each character of the Joy Gang. So somebody asked this question to Vincent Livings himself, the man who is behind Dark Deception in the first place, and he responded, what else?
Says, will each Joy Gang member have their own zone in level 7, or will all 3 of them be in all 3 zones? I wouldn't say that any zone is owned by one Joy Gang member in particular. The Joy Gang does work together, so just kind of think of it in those terms as far as how each zone will play out.
Yeah, boys, now I think the zone confusion can be put aside. Not one zone is owned by a single specific entity, which means it's not like in the first zone you're gonna have 1, in the second zone you're gonna have 2, or in the third zone you're gonna have 3, which would have been a good gameplay stuff for the players. But in other way, it is what it is, which probably means even the first zone is gonna be more tougher than the other one. Each zone, it's gonna be incredibly hard because all these characters are working together to dethrone us, to make sure they get the good stuff. I hope that kind of cleared the confusion for the zones. Now let's move on to the number 2nd thing. The number 2nd thing is of course Joy Gang size. Now we know from the screenshots that we could assume that they are giant in size when you go near them, but there's no specific measure or height that has been described for them. However, when somebody asked this question to Vincent Livings himself, he responded with this.
Says, hey Vince, would you be willing to reveal any of the enemy's cannon heights? Do the Joy Gang tower over Doug? Are the trigger teddies the size of the clown gremlins? Thank you in advance. Well, we don't have specific height measurements for them, but the Joy Gang are much taller than Doug.
Yeah, boys, Joy Gang are more taller than Doug Hauser himself. That means when you're walking, you're gonna have to move your camera a bit up to see their face, which is kind of okay in my opinion, because we don't have to see their faces. However, it's gonna be terrifying, petrifying, and most importantly, it's gonna be scary. Just imagine them Joy Gang members being taller than you and walking. We're gonna move on to the 3rd point, and the 3rd point is their speed and abilities. And when somebody asked this question to Vincent Livings himself, because we already knew that each of them are going to possess different abilities, their speeds are going to be a bit different, but let's hear from the man himself.
Well, the Joy Gang members have different speeds. Yeah, so the Joy Gang members all have their own abilities and their different speeds. So they are unique in what they contribute to the gang.
Alright, you heard it here first, folks. We know back in the past that out of the 3 Joy Gang members, Hangry the Pig, freaking Pig, oh my god, my day has been ruined. We haven't talked about Pig in a long time, and I was feeling peaceful until now. Day ruined, boys. But we know Hangry the Pig is the slower one, Penny the Chicken is mid-wise, not as faster, and Lucky the Rabbit is more faster in the entire Joy Gang member. And actually, Vincent Living talked about this specific question for Lucky the Rabbit.
Who will be the fastest Joy Gang member? I love Dark Deception. Well, thank you for playing Dark Deception. The fastest Joy Gang member will be Lucky, by far.
Now, he didn't specifically said that he is going to be faster than our speed boost because that was the question to begin with, but he is pretty fast, which makes me assume that we're going to need both speed boost and teleportation at the same time to make sure we get away and make a distance between ourselves and Lucky the Rabbit. If not, well, we only know what fate is waiting for us on the other side. However, one thing I will add on in all of this is that since we know it's a theme park in a way, since the location we've kind of clarified in the last episode is that the location is going to be somewhat of theme park. What about the small corners? You're kind of fricked. If he's running fast and you're in small corners with Hangry the Pig, Frick him, and Penny the Chicken at that time, where gonna we go? This is gonna be tough. That's why the powers comes in. But you know what? We're gonna move forward. Now, this one was actually confirmed before anyway, but we're just gonna skim through this. Joy Gang, of course, its difficulty. That's what we're talking about. So in the last episode, when somebody asked which level is gonna be the hardest one, he responded with this.
It says, what's the hardest chapter 4 level in your opinion? I think they're all hard in their own way. Right now, I would say it's a tie between Joy Gang level and Mama Bear level. But, you know, somebody else may have more difficulty with level 6. So I really can't say. Like, levels that I thought were easy, other people have struggled with, and vice versa. So it really depends on you, each individual person.
Now, we would assume that Joy Gang is the hardest level, and he said himself that he died most playtesting the JoyKill boss, which we'll come to at the end of this video. But at the same time, Joy Gang, you guys better prepare yourselves for it, because this one is gonna be the hardest one. 3 zones, 3 monsters, not to mention the boss fight, with more than one appearance of the same boss. I can't with this anymore. Now, we're gonna talk about the ending of Joy Gang. After beating the boss fight, we know there is an escape sequence, since there was a leaked OST that kind of spoiled what's gonna happen at the end of the Joy Gang level, that everything is gonna be burning down. There's more he added on to this point.
Will there be a time limit when escaping the Joy Gang? I can't say at the moment. That's kind of spoilery, so I'll leave that one vague. But I'm sure some of you have heard closing time. There is kind of a self-destruct sequence that happens at some point. You'll find out if it's timed or not.
So he may or may not have said much, but the point is that Joy Gang ending may have a time limit. Yes, we may have a time limit whilst escaping. You know what? Maybe we'll see the fire ourselves while we're escaping, and the fire is just spreading everywhere on the structures and architectures, and we have to escape fast and get in time to the portal. Otherwise, if that thing touches us, we will die. Simple as that. People die by not escaping the fire, and that's exactly what's gonna happen here. But you know what? It's just a theory at this point, but him not talking about it kind of shows that there may be a time limit. And finally, how we're gonna get to the escape sequence and the ending? Well, it's pretty easy. We're gonna beat the JoyKill boss. Now, you may be wondering, wait a second, JoyKill is the boss? Yes, Vincent Living's actually confirmed that before, but people are still talking about it. I don't know why. Let's take a look.
Leanne Carson, will the JoyKill track play during the JoyKill boss fight? Yeah, that is the JoyKill boss fight track.
Yep, boys, these kind of questions still happens even after the information is revealed. So here we go. JoyKill is the boss fight. JoyKill OST is going to be played during that boss fight. It's kind of common sense, but you know what? Personally excited for this one because I can't wait to see the lasers and mechanical parts moving and some mascots during the boss fight. And most importantly, after all of this good stuff, we need to escape. So it's going to be a lot of stuff. And not to mention, Vince himself said that he's the freakiest one out of the entire Chapter 4 monsters. But you know what? I'm just gonna leave it like that because that's what we do out here. It is important to understand that all of these things that I've been mentioning are confirmed straight from the Glowstick Entertainment themselves. Chapter 4 coming soon. Don't spam, because trust me, the wait will be worth it. I like deep voice.